Welcome back, everybody, to the Aaron's High Cap Adventure Radio program. I'll tell you what, I'm a blessed man. I got an awesome board operator, Trey Wallace, taking care of it, and I got two lovely ladies sitting to the left of me here. I've got Rene Grappi, and I got Denese Sims, the owners of Love's Unique Creations. Now, Denise, you came on last time, and it was DNL. You had a name change. Maybe you can explain that or whatever. But we've got them on here now because I've known Denise for quite a long time. She does awesome work. And we're talking about engravings and embroideries and all that kind of stuff. And because we're a gun show, a lot of it can pertain to knives and guns on the engraving aspects, and we're going to all talk about this. So ladies, welcome to the show. Say hi, introduce yourselves, tell everybody who you are and what we're doing, okay? Remember to get to the mic.
Hello, my name is Denese Sims, and we have actually gone through a name change because I have brought on a new partner. So our name went from DNL Unique Creations that everybody has known us as, and we have just gone to our tagline of Love Unique Creations. We are located at 2219 South 57th Street in Temple. We're actually in the old 7-Eleven building, if you're familiar with that. And I've actually just brought on a new partner, and it's going to be Rene Grappi. She's sitting to my left. Rene, say hello.
Hello.
How'd you guys meet?
Rene and I have been working together for the last 7 months, 8 months. So we actually got introduced at a car show here at Star Hall. And so we will go out there every year for SBJST car show. And so we actually met out there. Rene was doing some work on the side, and I was doing engraving for her. And so we got to know each other very well. I was needing some help so we can expand the business, and she was ready for an adventure change. So,
hey, I want to make a comment here. You know, I'm a businessman, and I think I do pretty good. I'm always trying to check out things and make sure I do it right, and just do what I'm supposed to do to make my business work right. But I must say, when I see women who got their act together, they somehow, some way, you ladies get it going. And I get a vibe from you two. You're harmonized. I can just tell. You're running on 8 cylinders here. And I know you, Denise, and I know your business and where it's at, but I can tell you got another powerhouse here. I think you guys are going to skyrocket. Why don't you tell everybody what it is you actually do and the different... I mean, you basically do this, but you can do all sorts of stuff on all sorts of things. Why don't we talk to everybody what they can do? Because this is a gun show, a prepper show, but you fit in perfectly because there's so many different aspects of that.
right. Well, first of all, I would like to also, before I forget, to thank you, Matt, for bringing us on. And of course, I would love to start out with bringing you a couple of gifts.
Oh, gosh.
So, the first gift is going to be our new slogan because, yes, our logo is a hot pink Unipeg. And
Hey,
so
I'm asking them not to wear hot pink, okay?
some men are a little intimidated by that. So we've actually created a shirt for our men. And so I actually brought you one as a gift. And it says, "Real men support the unique."
Awesome. I like it. I love it.
That's going to
great.
be our new shirt, and so
I
I
am
brought you
secure in
one.
my masculinity that I will wear pink. It's not a problem. That's great. Thank you very much.
So we're actually going to be making up some of these for the shop for our wonderful, loyal men's customers.
By the way, I love pink. Pink is
Yes.
good. Okay.
You would look good in
You
pink.
would.
Yes.
Yes.
And then
you guys,
also,
you guys get that one. Okay.
on a serious note, you and I have talked before about metal engraving and all of the aspects that comes into. So I actually brought you a gift.
I've been harping on this thing for a while. Huh?
Yes. What this is it's a compass that I had there in the shop, and I actually had to put the High Cap logo on there for you.
Is that why you were stalling?
Well, I wanted to make sure that we got that, and so I could give you that gift.
That's awesome. Check it out
to
in the video
bring.
here. It's beautiful. I used to instruct hundreds and hundreds of military personnel on land navigation, combat land navigation, and so I'm very much into compass reading. And people say, "Why do you got a compass? You're afraid you're going to get lost?" And I go, "No, I'm not going to get lost at all."
I have a compass.
But that's great. I wear right here. I've got a compass on my wrist. So thank you very much. That's very nice, ladies. I
You're
appreciate
welcome.
that. Awesome.
So, and that's just a part of what we do. And the cool thing is we specialize in the unique. And so what that allows us to do is we allow customers to bring in a lot of their own items. So if you had something like the compass or pocket knives or metal objects that need to actually be engraved. So what I mean by that engraving is a lot of the people that are here in our area, they do a surface engrave that you actually see. It's done by a CO2 laser. This metal engraving is actually done by a fiber laser that we do have in-house, so we do all of our own engraving. And yes, it's done by girls.
Wait a minute, Denise, you had told me about that one time before, fiber engraving as compared to the other one. Clarify that a little bit more, because I knew it was pretty neat when you were telling me that.
Yes, so the fiber laser, actually what that does is it doesn't do a surface engrave, so like a CO2 laser would do. It actually is a permanent marking, but it actually removes the metal. So it is really good for...
Does it make it like deep?
Yes, it actually etches into the metal, so you can actually feel it with your
like
metal.
that,
You know, so for a lot of... so if you're actually doing identification marking... on tools even, so if you have like a bunch of craftsman tools, you could actually come in and we could do a micro engrave on those.
Isn't that what you did on this one? Because I can feel the ridges.
Yes, that actually is a metal engrave, so you could actually feel it. It's actually etched into the metal, so it's a permanent engrave above and beyond. So we do tool marking, and it can actually do really pretty small. So if you have a problem where you're in a place that you want to make sure that your tools are marked or identified, but not so evident, then you can bring those tools in. We can work with you and get those marked. Along with that, you can do pocket knives. So with the pocket knives, it's not just on the casing. We can actually engrave on the blade itself. So with that, if you're engraving on the blade, that allows you to etch into the metal, and so so when you've got a wet stone, something like that, it's actually going to last you a lot longer with that engraving.
Let's talk about the materials that you can do. I know you mentioned a couple of things, but why don't we talk, Rene and Denise, about the different type of materials that you can actually do? Because I remember you mentioned a couple of materials to me I didn't even think about engraving.
Right. So along with our metal engrave, we actually have a wide variety of things that we can engrave. The last time I was on the show, I actually brought Matt a stainless steel tumbler cup. That is one of our most popular things that we engrave on is, Arctics and Yetis and stuff like that. But above and beyond that, we actually we are open to engrave on wood, so that's cutting boards, that's different.
You made me keychains. That was
yes, I made wooden keychains that had the logos on there.
Baseball bats.
Yes, the baseball bats is another one. I've actually done some of those for Temple High School for graduating seniors, to where you can actually personalize a baseball bat for a gift, or even for little leagues, that kind of thing. That's to commemorate something, first home runs, that kind of thing. We can actually engrave on baseballs. So that's a leather product, so we can actually engrave on a lot of different leather stuff.
Let's clarify something on the leather. Are you burning the leather, or are you actually indenting the leather like you did with the metal?
Okay, on the leather, it's actually a burn. So it's actually just going to brand and burn the leather. We have done gun holster straps, that kind of stuff, where you can put, names, initials, that kind of stuff on there. And along with the leather, you can do the suede, and the suede actually turns out really nice. So because it gives it a good, nice contrast on there. So I've actually done like suede little shoes. I've done
that's another thing. You could do like baby's first shoes and stuff like that.
Oh, all kinds of stuff. And then
Open
also,
your minds up. Open your minds up to you a unique creation. I mean, that's a good name for the business, because if you can think it, they can probably do it, right?
pretty close. So like a carpenter bag, that's something that a lot of people don't think about. Father's Day coming up, if you have somebody that's working in construction, you can actually put their name, logo, business logo on those suede leather carpenter bags. We can actually do leather work gloves. I've done some of those for farm and ranching, for gifts and that kind of thing.
Can you do flesh?
I have done flesh. It's not something that's very preferred, but unfortunately, it was my flesh.
Well,
Not intentional.
I mean, could you do that?
Actually, there's videos out there where I've seen that happen, but I've never done that intentionally.
Wow,
Other than
that'd be awesome. It's almost well, if you numb it up, it'd be good.
well, yeah, but
Make it branded.
It's
it'd
like
be
a
like a
brand.
brand.
Yeah.
But it does
Exactly. It's like a brand.
Okay.
it gets hot.
And then you just say, okay, we got a call. People say, what the heck are you talking about? They take a call and see what this says here.
It's Tim Titsworth. It's not.
All right, no worries. Okay.
So, but other than that, we try to keep our shop as versatile as possible. So, along with the engraving, we do glass engraving. So you can do like the beer mugs, the wine glasses, those type of things. So,
Hey, let me ask you a serious question.
Something in there for you.
I did a bartending job
I
for
can
a
put
couple,
something in there for you.
and one of their main things was they had cigars. They had a cigar business. Could you engrave on, like, let's say you're doing wedding
12:30, but I can put
presents
something in there
or
for you.
wedding gifts. Could you do cigarettes, cigars on an individual basis? Could you do unique,
All right.
literally
I'll do
unique
that for
type
you.
of things like that? Is there anything you can't do?
No problem.
It's kind of amazing at some things that we have engraved on. I've literally engraved on just about anything. I used to have a deal, if you're willing to bring it in, let me burn it up, then we can sure try it. So, but I've actually engraved pumpkin pies. I've engraved hot dogs. I have engraved chocolate.
That's I mean, that literally, seriously, your name is great. It's unique.
Yes.
So if somebody says, hey, when they're going to give this hot dog or this cake as a gift, it's not just frosting on it. You actually had something specifically put on there that matches the person's desired event.
Yes. And that's what we're really known for. There's a lot of things that a lot of people will not engrave on. With our experience, we've engraved on so many different materials that we feel pretty confident in engraving in a lot of things. And so we not only do individual customers, but we also reach out and we do business. So I can do, like a wholesale engraving if you have a lot of items that I have a lot of businesses that they can find things at a very minimal cost, but they can't get their logo on it.
Do you do trophies? Because I remember when I mentioned before, we were doing the trophy aspect of it too. That was a big part of what you used to do, but that wasn't your business at the time. But now with what you do, are you more of things that we've been talking about, or can you go full scale trophies?
Oh, yeah.
Plaques?
We do, because we can do full scale trophies, awards, plaques. We can also do name badges. We can do door plates, name plate, desk plates. And then also the kicker with the metal engraving on our medals that you give out for first, second, third place, or soccer medals, we can actually incorporate logos on those instead of just the old-fashioned just, hey, this is your event, this is the date. You can actually incorporate logos now on the medals that you give out. So it just puts another personalization spin to something that you're giving out.
Can you do portable engraving?
We are working on that. I am working on the metal engraving is very portable. So I'm actually going to be working on setting that up. The thing with that is if you're going to do logos, that kind of stuff, that takes time to get set up and everything. But at our next event, we're going to try to bring the metal engraver and see how it works.
I'm just going to throw out a concept idea. Let's say on my car, I wanted to have my logo put on my driver's side door where you go to lift up the handle. Could you do something like that?
No, nothing like that. It would actually be something that would have to be removed from the vehicle. Okay. And I've done that. I have done like grab handles, that kind of stuff off of RVs to where you're personalizing, and throwing some personalization to it. But that's what we try to do on it.
Okay.
It has to be removable.
All right, look, we got a few minutes left. Let's go right back now to the gun aspect of it.
Okay.
Without getting into all the details. Let's talk about what you can do for guns and what you've done to guns and logos. And we also wanted to do what we were talking about where you mark them. What's the word you were using? When you want to identify them?
Yes. So you can do trust engravings.
Trust engravings, that's it.
So what we're going to do is we are working on moving forward with our lower engravings. So a lot of times when you've ordered a lower and you need to put it in a trust, so you have to have that marked, and it has to be done by a fiber laser or metal engrave. So that's going to be something that we're going to offer, where we do trust engravings, and then opening up the market on that. If you actually go out to our Facebook page, you will see a slide that I done for a customer, to where I've actually was able to mark the Mason logo on the slide and put the name on the other side. It actually is really cool
Yeah, that was a
looking.
1911 slide. I saw that. It was on a stainless steel slide. It looked pretty good. What happens if you do a blued slide and you engrave? Does it just look black, or are you burning through where it'll become silver?
You actually burn through it, and so it actually will go down to the metal or the the base product. And so that's the thing, is it actually will go down to the metal.
Now,
It'll engrave
ladies and
through it.
gentlemen, let me explain something. Sean McVicker, an awesome individual. He's a master engraver that I know very well. It's a different type of engraving. Sean is actually chiseling out the metal and scrolling it out, whereas this is the artistic ability of the ladies putting it into a computerized situation and etching it. So it's going to be the same thing every time. If you want the same picture, it'll come out the same every time, whereas Sean's is a unique masterpiece. So
Right.
if you want to mass produce, or you want a specific logo, it can be scanned in, I'm assuming, right? Like the snake, the Gadsden snake.
Right.
Don't
Or
tread
like
on
your
me.
logo.
Yeah, exactly. That's great. Okay, what are we missing here? Trey, how much time I got? About a minute
About
or
10
two?
minutes.
Huh?
Yeah, about 10 minutes.
Well, we got Sandy Key coming on, so.
Yeah.
All right, so let's take about another minute or two and go over anything that I've missed.
Well, along with the metal engraving and then our just engraving in general, we also are a full embroidery shop.
Ah, that's it. Yeah.
So full embroidery, that means that you
And
can
if you're looking at the video, that's one of them they've done a long time ago for me, and they just do a fantastic job. But keep going, explain.
But we do hats, we do towels, we do monogramming, we can do where you can bring in your own items. So if you have jackets and anything of that nature that you need to be embroidered, we can do that there. And then between our engraving and our embroidery, if we can't mark it that way, then like the shirt that I brought you, we also do heat transfer. So what that is it's anything that you don't get screen printed. So you have to have like 24 or more a lot of times to get screen prints. I deal with a lot of small businesses that just need a few shirts to get them going.
See,
so you
that's
can come in and
That's a big
see.
thing you've got, because I remember when I was doing property management, you got these big property management people that won't deal with anything less than a certain amount of square footage, and then we come in and we're getting all these personal, private people's property. You're
Yes.
that type of person who handles the small person, which ends up being an incredible service to people out there.
Well, just like us, we're a new company. We've been in business now a year and a half.
She's a new company, but she's been in this for a long time.
Yes, my personal business has been in business for a year and a half, so I've actually done engraving and stuff a lot longer than that. And then our embroidery goes back to 2000 and actually before that. So it's definitely a growing process, but we are bringing on a lot of new items every day of what we can do. And now with Renee's help, you're actually going to see a lot of expansion in that. You're going to start seeing us at a lot of shows. So that's all we ask is
You
just
really
to
need
try to
be
get the
at
word
gun
out.
shows. I think the gun shows will be incredible for you once they see what you can do.
And that's going to be on our list of things to do, because I'll actually be able to take the fiber laser out there and we can do some personal markings.
Can you do it on the spot right then and there?
We are going to start offering that
That'd be
as long
awesome.
as it's not logos. Because again, going back to the logos, that requires digitizing and a lot.
Well, clarify. Let's say you were able to do that, and you're at a gun show, and somebody brings a gun. What could you do? Anything?
What we're going to do is probably just offer name markings, just something that's letter oriented,
Okay.
that kind of stuff. But when you start putting in something like your logo
You gotta
or
scan it
somebody,
in and all that.
yeah, so that's going to take a little bit more time, a little bit more setup.
Okay.
So that's not something we're going to want to do on the fly, because then it's just going to, the people are going to just have to start waiting and that kind of stuff. And then also with that, we're going to start doing the, we can do small jewelry, that kind of stuff.
I'll tell you what, ladies. Tell everybody how they can get a hold of you. Phone numbers, websites, whatever you got, and because we've got to finish up in just a second.
Sure. Again, we are now Love Unique Creations, formerly D&L Unique Creations. We are on the corner of 57th and Scott in Temple. The address is 2219 South 57th Street, again in Temple. Our phone number actually is going to be 254-899-8151. I apologize, we just changed phone numbers and it just kind of caught me off guard. You can still reach us at 254-231. No, I'm sorry. I don't even know my own phone number.
What's the website?
Yeah, well, actually, we don't have a website yet, but you can check us out on Facebook at Love Unique Creations, and we try to post everything that's new and fun that's out there. We'll also be posting our events that we're going to be going to, and you can actually go out there and look at that gun slide that we were talking about, and along with some knives and actually some bullet casings are out there too.
Okay,
so.
and I'll have this video posted up probably by Tuesday of this week. You can check it out, and if you need to link to it, you can go ahead and do it. Ladies and gentlemen, that's we got Denise and we got Rene. Awesome. I've known Denise for quite a while. She's awesome, and together I can feel the harmony between them. They're going to do really good things. So check them out. It's the old 7-Eleven there, right across from the new 7-Eleven. Okay, down there on 57th Street. So we'll say goodbye, Trey. Give us a break, and when we come back, we're going to have Master Cindy Key probably doing some terrible things to me in a demonstration to help you survive on the street. See you on the other side.
Thank you.
Yes.